So I hope that you all can appreciate the effort that I'm putting in this video, and I am sweating in this holiday sweater because while it is December, it is 78 degrees today and it's hot. Hey y'all, my name's Priscilla and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to catch up on some of my book tags because we know that that list is a disaster. I thought today would be a perfect opportunity to go ahead and do the Drag Race book tag that I was tagged to do back in June, because like all things that go out of style, they always come back. And right now, All Stars for RuPaul's Drag Race is going to be airing in December, and I think it's perfect timing to bring this tag back to life. So here we are. So I was tagged by Yvette over at Book Cave, and the tag creator is Amanda Venture 1, and I'll make sure to leave both of those video links in the description box below. It was also mentioned in the tag that you get bonus points if you feature stories and authors or characters that are part of the LGBTQ+ community, and I am going to be taking on that challenge. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is charisma. Name a character who has charisma for days. I don't know if you thought I was going to mention anyone else, but I had to go with Angel from the House of Impossible Beauties. Angel is the main character in this historical fiction about the first all Latinx drag house in New York City in the 1980s. She is a trans Puerto Rican woman and drag queen, and her charisma is so unique because I felt so compelled by her plight, because it comes from such a genuine place, a place of wanting to really foster a found home, a found family with all the other characters in this story. And I love her so much, and I couldn't go without mentioning Angel in a tag like this. So definitely that is the only character that is appropriate in my mind for this question. The next question is uniqueness. Name a unique take on a common theme. For this, I think I'm gonna go with Something New by Loosely Nisley. And this is a graphic novel I read way early in the year, and I was very pleasantly surprised by it because I didn't expect it to have really the effect and impact it had on me, and I really didn't expect it to stick with me, and it did. And the main character, author, illustrator of this graphic novel is a bisexual woman. And in this graphic novel and much of her other graphic novels, she takes a memoir-esque approach to telling her story. And in this one, she's getting married. So she's talking all about the wedding culture in America, and also the anxiousness that she feels with her identity as a bisexual woman marrying a cis man, and her fears of, oh, will this erase this part of her identity, and the connection that she has to the LGBTQ+ community. And she also mentions some of the traditions that are held in the community and that are often not mentioned whenever talking about wedding culture and getting married. So I thought that was a very common take on a very common theme of getting married. So the next question is nerve. Name a book that is full of daring and nerve-wracking experiences. And for this, I'm going to mention The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. This is another graphic novel, and in this one, we follow our main character, Sebastian, the prince, who by night likes to dress up in these beautiful, elegant, flowing dresses and take the town by storm as Miss Crystalia. And it's full of nerve-wracking experiences because he doesn't want others to know who he is, in fear of the backlash, in fear of his father, the king, not accepting him. And I love this so much because there is an overall feeling of acceptance in the end, and I don't want to get into it in spoilers, but there is a heartwarming moment with his father that I thought made this a great choice for this question. And the next question is talent. Name an underrated author that you love and you think more people should hear about. For this one, I'm going to go with Anger is a Gift by Mark Ashiro, which is a new released YA contemporary novel that follows our main character Moss, who is a queer Afro-Latinx character that suffers from PTSD specifically related to police officers. His father was killed by a police officer, which he witnessed himself, and who he has developed very severe anxiety anytime police officers are by, which is a problem because his school is increasingly becoming militarized, and the security is just amped up so much that he very often has panic attacks. And I wanted to mention this book specifically because I really didn't think that it got a lot of hype around it, and with it being a new release and with the subject matter being so topical and relevant with a lot of the police related brutality that you hear about, I thought that this book would have been shouted from the rooftops. And I found the overall message of this, of seeking out the support from your community, the only real answer that you could have to the larger problem of systematic oppression and the prejudice and racism toward people of color, to be one that could be the only end to this story. The next question is shade. Pick a villain who is particularly devious. This is the one question that I don't have a LGBTQ plus character, author, story specifically for, so I would love to hear some recommendations if you have any in the comments below. So for this one, I'm going to be mentioning the main antagonist in The Good House by Tanana Reeve. The premise of this book is there's a haunted house and there's a devilish spirit that is haunting this house and this family, and the devil demon spirit in the baka in this story is so terrifying and so devious. We hear from the perspective of this person as they are being possessed, so you hear the inner workings of this spirit, and it's terrifying. This baka who has it out to get Angela is so devious and so thrilling at the same time, which isn't my real kind of book, but I feel like the suspense in this story is what really gripped me, and it's a devious character. The next question is lip sync for your life. Choose a book with elements of performance or music in it. And for this, I'm going to go with The Air You Breathe by Francis de Pontes Pebles. This is a epic historical fiction novel that I was completely taken with, and the main character in this story is named Doris, and she's a queer Brazilian woman who is also a lyricist, a songwriter, a singer, and she's in part of this very great samba band. So this book is all about music, it's all about performance, and it's all about this fierce queer character. She is a bisexual woman that has male and female romances throughout her life. You see her life from the lowly beginnings on sugar plantations all the way to the grand stage of being a successful writer and singer. And the main relationship in this story is with her best friend Grasa, who is inspired by Carmen Baranda and who is this just grand samba performer. I think that the performance and the music in this historical fiction is so captivating also. So The Air You Breathe. The next question is SASHAY AWAY, a book with a shocking ending. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with Her Body and Other Parties. And this is a short story collection that I read for Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's by Carmen Maria Machado. And this is a story that I'm going to specifically mention The Husband Stitch, which is the first story in this collection and which is absolutely my favorite. And I don't want to get into too much of it because the ending, obviously with it being very shocking, is very spoilery. And she weaves such a beautiful story about what it is to be a woman and what it is to own your own sexuality and what that means to the men that you have relationships with and the control that they want to assert over you, and what happens when you relinquish this control and when you allow the world to have this over you. And the ending, whew, that ending will stick with me for a long time, but it was just so well done. And the author is queer, and many of her stories in this collection feature queer women. So go read The Husband Stitch. It's really, really good. So that was the Drag Race book tag. I finally did it. So I am a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, not so much RuPaul because he is very transphobic, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that It had this platform that he has used, and the show and the mainstream success of the show has allowed a lot of voices and talent to be pushed into the forefront. And for that reason, I am still a fan. So I wanted to shout out the Queer Lit Readathon because that is not transphobic and very inclusive. And I am kind of participating on the low, but not really, because I'm kind of not in the mood for TBRs right now. But just wanted to mention that if you want to get some more recommendations for some queer literature, check out the Queer Lit Read, I think is the hashtag, and you can find a lot of great recommendations and a lot of great content creators. So that's the tag before I ramble on too much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below who your favorite drag queen is, or maybe your favorite book featuring a queer main character. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye!